Can the sweet spot be widened? This is a constantly asked question that we get all the time, and it comes this time from Wojtek in Krakow, Poland. I'm no audiophile, but my system is rudimentary, but it does have a sweet spot that is just about the size of my head. It seems at times that this sweet spot is a pinpoint. Is there any way to widen this stereo sweet spot? So let's talk about what does he mean by widening the sweet, what is the sweet spot? All right, so the sweet spot is this place right here. See how I've got it all centered? And what he means is if I move here or here, the image that appears back here is suddenly gone, or not gone, but it's changed in a way. And what you'd like is a sweet spot that if I sit over here or if I sit over here, I'm going to get the same image that I hear sitting in the middle. So yes, you can widen the sweet spot, and I'll give you some tips how to do that. You can't, with conventional loudspeakers, get it super wide without having to give up other things. So let's first talk about imaging. And we've been over this before, but it's worth saying over and over and over again. The sound that we hear should not come from these. These speakers, which are radiating the sound, giving us the sound, when I sit here, it shouldn't sound like it's coming from here. These should disappear. And I know that one of the things I love about the IRS-5 is that these are the hardest speakers in the world to make disappear visually. I mean, look at the size of these suckers. So, but if you listen here, it's weird. Nothing comes from these speakers, nothing. Yet everything comes from the speakers. What you hear is everything comes from back here. And it goes way out, way back, but it's all back here, as it should be. Why is that? Well, imagine that these speakers are microphones, okay? Because a speaker is the opposite of a microphone. A microphone picks up sound, records it, and then a speaker does the opposite, right? So if these were microphones and there was a band back here, then we would just simply turn these around, point them here, and pick up the sound. Now we're going to play it back. Well, when we do that, these, which used to be microphones pointing this way, even though to the eye they're pointing that way, the band is still back here, even though we're just having, a recorded image of it. It's still back here. It still should sound like it's back here, and it does. So that illusion is captured best right here at our sweet spot. But stereo is an illusion. There is no center channel. There's nothing back here, right? Just a bunch of amps and stuff. So the center channel comes from a combination of the right and the left speakers. I had to think about that so I can get it right for you. And so when these two play at equal levels, then we get a center image. That should, again, be back here, but I'm just for purposes of explaining stuff, right? And so if I move over here, I'm going to get more of this channel than I do of that channel. And therefore, the image is going to shift because, again, it's an illusion. So one of the things you'll notice about this speaker system, see how there's no toe in? And toe in means angled in. So a lot of setups you'll see, the speaker's way off to the side and then they're kind of pointed like headphones at angles. Well, that can make for a very wide sweet spot, but it's at the expense, usually, of the size of the image and the placement of the image. And so, for me, I like to pull the speakers as far apart as you can, have them face as little bit of toe in so that they're facing flat on, and pull them apart till you get the sound of the size of the sound stage that you want without having to toe them in. Now you'll know when you're too far apart, you're going to lose mid-bass. So this part of the chest that you hear in my voice, that's going to start thinning out and get out kind of, the frequency won't change, but you'll lose some of that body in the voice. And that's because you're losing coupling between the two speakers. So pull them apart as far as you can until you start getting too thin in the chest. Pull them back just a little bit and leave them there. And that's, and then and toe in. So we only toe in if we can't get a solid center image. That means the tweeters are beaming and they're like this, and you need to point them in just a little bit to get that energy level right. In this system, we don't need to do that. In some systems, you do. So the widest sweet spot you're going to get is as little toe in as you can, as far apart as you can, out away from the wall, give some room for the soundstage, and that'll be about as good as you can probably get. There are other tricks, but for right now, let's just focus on that. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you tomorrow.